Hi there. Happy Sunday. Good morning. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. I have a thrift haul this morning. It's been a long time since I've had a thrift haul. It's not a very big thrift haul, but it's a thrift haul nonetheless. And, I've remembered to change my blue card so that it says March. And it's been March for a week. Oh well, I remembered. I'm up to date now. Happy March. So I hit 2 thrift stores yesterday, and I did okay. One thrift store, my little Mission thrift store that I like, I didn't get very much there. I got some price tags for 50 cents, and I got, where'd it go? I got some book plates. Where'd the book plates go? Oh my goodness, I'm losing it. Are they under there? Oh, there they are. I got these book plates. I forget what I paid for them. 75 cents. They're kind of cool. They've got an angel playing a musical instrument. And there's a ton of them in here. There's more than I thought. So there's lots of these. They're stickers. But I rather like them. So that's all I got at my Mission thrift store. The rest of the stuff that I'm going to go through now, I got at my weigh and pay. And I don't know what I paid for the individual things because they put it on a scale. And it came to $8.75 Canadian. So let's go through them. I got a roll of wallpaper, but I liked it because it's got a tiny little pattern on it. And I thought it might make nice, pockets or such. It's kind of tough. Pardon me. There's dust. I'm pulling things out of bags here, and it's dusty. So I got that. I got a couple of tins. Now, if you recognize this, I have my mother's Wonder Fruitcake tin. And these came out in the 60s, I believe. And my dad was the only one in the family who liked fruitcake. And I suspect that this was probably a gift he received at work from, whether it's employees or he ran the printing department. So he dealt with a lot of customers. Like he purchased, I remember we were constantly getting gifts from Domtar Papers and Bunton Reed Printing and that sort of thing. And I suspect that a fruitcake of this size, trust me, my mother did not buy this fruitcake. It was a gift, but my dad would have enjoyed it. But my mother, being the artist that she was, loved the tin. So she usually kept mincemeat tarts in it, or even muffins off season. But we remember this tin for mincemeat tarts at Christmas, my brother and I. Anyhow, so I found a tin in beautiful condition. So I looked on Etsy, and there's one. Can you see it? There's one tiny little soft dent there, but otherwise the ink on it is in beautiful condition. Anyhow, so I looked online. It seems to be going anywhere from $10 up to $50 for a Wonder Fruitcake tin. But I think first I'll see if any of my daughters or daughter-in-laws would like it. And if nobody wants it, then I will sell it and see what I can get for it. Certainly, I mean, how light it is, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it was 25 cents. Maybe. So if I can get more than 50 cents for it, I'm ahead of the game, right? Anyhow, I love it. Or I may just use it myself and put more storage in it. It's just so pretty. I love that combination, the red and the gold. I love red and gold. And then the beautiful blues and turquoise. I just love it. So, and then we'll go into what's in it in a second. I found this tin, which I've never seen before. And it seems to be selling on Etsy and that for a similar price, depending on the shape it's in, anywhere from $10 to $50. and it seems to be about a similar era. This one's not in as good shape. It's been well used and well loved, but I don't mind that. I like my vintage things to show some patina, to show that it had another life. So this doesn't bother me in the least, and it actually makes me a little less nervous to use it. If this was in pristine condition, I'd be nervous to use it. So I love that it's kind of been bashed around and well used and well loved, and yet it's very clean inside. I was very impressed. I think that ridge is so unusual. At first I thought there was another lid inside from another tin that was stuck down in there, but it actually is, it is the tin. It's a sort of a layering effect with the metal. And it says on it in the printing here, made in Holland. So anyhow, this one I will keep for myself. I don't know what I'll store something in it. Maybe buttons, or I don't know. I just thought it was pretty. I found this little tin that I rather liked. Again, I might use it to store. I don't know. I don't know yet. Again, maybe it was 5 cents. So even if I just love it for a little while and then rehome it, I do that with secondhand things. Sometimes I love them for a little while and then I send them back out into the universe. But I just thought this one was cute. I liked the shape of the lid. Kind of reminded me of my martini shaker. So I got that. I got some books. So this is a big one. It is, I had to look at it carefully, Standard Stories from the Operas. So it's not that old. It's kind of in sad shape. So somebody must have been an opera lover to get it so worn out, because it's only 1952. But the pages are quite nice, and I like when there's, you know, when you sort of recognize what it is that's making the backing for, you know, your collage or whatever it is you're doing. So there's that. I got this one because I like the title. Those Other People. You know, maybe you want a journal so that you can write about everyone who's on your naughty list. Those Other People. Who knows? Anyhow, it's not that old either. I think it's in the 50s. Let me take a look and see. I'm sure I overlooked it. I bet I passed it already. Yeah. Oh, for Pete's sake, it's right there. 1946. Okay, well, it's a little older than I thought. I found another copy of In Felicia. I guess about a year and a half ago, I did a really pretty version of In Felicia. It was such a beautiful color, and it had a beautiful picture of a young girl. This reminds me of the Pansy books, and I wouldn't surprise me if it's the same publisher. Anyhow, I liked it. I like the colors, and I just thought, okay, this will make a nice journal. I found this book that I love, old textbooks, English grammar, and this one's old, 1886. I'm going to have to look up Eddie Mitchell. Lindsay is about an hour away from me, so I'm going to have to go into my ancestry program and see if I can find Eddie Mitchell. He was in high school in 1886, so he was probably born in like 1872-ish, I bet. Anyhow, I liked that one. Pretty cool. Now this one really looks sad. It's really, I think this is like silk. It feels silky. It's got that nice, soft, shimmery, satiny, but the spine is almost completely worn off, and you can see the guts of the book and how it was made. You can't read it very well anymore, but it says Scottish Songs. The inscription says 1934. That's all I have to go on for it. There's no publication date inside. But I like it because it's a nice size of music, and it's all Scottish music. It's very pretty. There's some nice illustrations in it. The coloring of the paper is so beautiful. And I love, I mean, it's written in the dialect of the of how it would be sung or spoken. So I love it. So I got this book, clearly. I got this book for the guts and not for this cover. What else did I get here? I found this big book. I'd have to lift my camera to show you the whole thing. But again, because it went on the scale, I don't know how much it was, but it's just large masterpiece type paintings that I love working with. So it's very pretty. Isn't that nice? Would make a nice background even for collage. So that's what I got here. I love these kind of books. I probably have too many, but I couldn't resist. Same with this one. Toulouse-Lautrec. So I like that when it's got the library. Oh, for Pete's sake, I'm not in camera. It's got the library pocket still in it. Nice bright colors with lots of movement. Look at her kicking up her heels there. Boy, that's quite a cleavage on her. My goodness. Very pretty. Look at those bright colors. Wow. Anyhow, yes, so I got that. And then this one, it's a blank journal. So I figured I could probably, because it's landscape shaped, would probably make pages that I could fold. They look quite brand new, so I think I'm going to have to undo it and tea dye them. But they've got some really interesting photos in it. Look at that. How cool is that? It's pretty. I don't know. I just figured it was worth it for whatever pittance it cost on the weigh scale. You just never know what you're going to, when I might go, oh yes, I want that photo out of that book. See, I like this. That could be cool to cut that out and... Well, we'll see. So there, that's it. That's the haul. Yeah, I think I'm done. You know what? I'll catch up on what I'm going to work on later today. So I'll try and turn my camera back on. I have finished all the outside work on the Wealthy Donor. And I love how she turned out. So I got all the stitching on. She must have been very soft and mushy, because usually the back side just looks like Frankenstein really bad. And it didn't displace the cardboard too badly when I sewed right through it. And the fortifying that I did here, the spine isn't even in here yet, and I'm now thinking I'm not going to put it in because that feels quite nice and quite sturdy enough. And I don't think it needs, I went to all that work making a new curved spine that I was going to put in. I think I'm going to leave it be because it just opens and closes so lovely. And I'm actually toying with the idea, and I have lots of time to think about it, of sewing the signatures right in through the spine and having exposed threads here, especially since this is a shabby chic journal. So I'm very tempted to, maybe use some gold thread. Wouldn't that look pretty since she's the Wealthy Donor? Now I still want to, I'm going to leave the cover alone, but I am going to Mod Podge her. But this is actually very nice. It cleaned up beautifully with an eraser and wiped down nicely. And I'm just going to leave it fresh looking. But she needs a bit of, I want her to have some brush strokes on her since she's a masterpiece painting. But I'm just very happy. So what I did, for anyone who's asking, and I didn't do it on camera for a reason, I am maybe the world's worst har. Should I do the and it's painfully slow before I make a decision on where I'm going to plop lace down. And your time would be better spent watching paint dry. But what I do is I just keep placing, moving, placing, turning, flipping, placing. Like this was the other way for a little while. And, you know, it was all over the place. The only thing that I knew for certain was I wanted this little lady up here who is in that lace. And then I was able to actually fit both of them in. So there's a different one. She's a profile. So two of them are there. Maybe it's like Mary and the Wealthy Donor again. They're back together for a second part 2. Anyhow, so I get them all into how I think I want it, and then I use this time I use 3-in-1. I use Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1 interchangeably. I don't care which one it is, whatever's on sale. And I just barely hold them down. I put, I just use it to hold it in place. I did use some behind her because I didn't want her floppy. This lace is so delicate, very spider webby. So I did, anywhere there was a larger spot of fabric, I glued that down. But then I used my sewing machine on zigzag and on straight stitch to hold all these in place after gluing them in place. So you can see better on the back here. And actually, now that you're here, what am I at, 17 minutes? I usually go in and push all those displaced little bumps, all the little volcanoes that erupt from your sewing machine needle punching it out, right? I push them back in and flatten them down so that when I put the end papers in, they'll lay nice and flat. So I'm sure anything similar to this will do. This is just my favorite because it's so nice and smooth, and it's metal, so I can really push down hard and shove those little pokey uppy things back in where I want them to be. So I'm happy with how this turned out, and for whatever reason, like I said, my sewing machine didn't mind this. Some shabby chic books that I've sewn the covers to, oh golly, the backside looks awful, and it would sort of, and I'd have to sort of shove it through and get my hand to encourage the wheel. Not nice. But where there's a will, there's a way. So, but this one sort of went, oh yeah, we like this, and it cooperated. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. I even zigzagged through these little lace strips that, these were threadbare. You could actually see this fabric right through it. So I'm happy with how that turned out too. And then, as I said in the previous video, I trimmed it a little bit, but I left all those frayed ends from the fabric that I used to reinforce it. And I like how that turned out. So now I've got to decide what's going to be end papers. I need to make a final decision on whether I'm going to make this hidden hollow back or whether I'm going to sew the signatures right through, similar to, like a little golden book kind of junk journal. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to do that. I think it might look kind of cool. And that's the whole point of these journals. I didn't get anything further done on Mary here. She's still looking snazzy, but I do want to I do want to put some brads in her corners. I think I'm going to do an oiled bronze, oiled brass. Anyhow, they're brown. They're sort of a brown color, and I'm going to put them here. And then she needs some. I'm going to do an all over coating of Mod Podge and then sealant on her, the whole cover. Whereas for this one, I'm just going to do her, because I think I'm going to, there are a few little dings that are kind of white here, and I'm going to go over that with some Distress ink. And yeah, those are my plans. But right now, I promised hubby that I was going to make him banana bread today. So I'm going to put this stuff away, and I'm going to go bake banana bread, and then I'm going to come back, and hopefully by then I will have decided what I'm going to do with this spine. So that's it for today. Not quite 30 minutes, but it's a nice time to have a little visit. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care. We'll talk soon. Bye.